Hey, so today we're talking about the x and y intercepts and how to use intercepts and how to interpret intercepts. Remember, I'm not going to be in class on Wednesday, so we need to make sure you understand this video, and you're going to do some work on this on Wednesday. So if I look at what an x-intercept is, all that an x-intercept is, and we're going to write that here, is the x-intercept is when the line crosses the x-axis. That means that the y-intercept is just when the line crosses the y-axis. So basically the x and y-intercept are just wherever the line that you're graphing crosses either the x-axis or the y-axis. Well, if I'm thinking about when my line crosses my x-axis, well, if I'm crossing over my x-axis, so if we look at this graph, if I'm crossing over this x-axis, that does not mean that my x value is 0, it means that my y value is 0. So my x-intercept is whatever value I have for x when y equals 0. So this is when y equals 0. That my y-intercept then is when my line crosses this y-axis. So whenever my line crosses my y-axis, I'm looking for what value do I have for y when x equals 0. Oops, 0. So my y-intercept is what value do I have for y when y equals 0. So we're going to go ahead and look for the x and y-intercepts using a graph right now. If you think that you can do this by yourself, you can pause this and try it and then unpause it. So the first thing we're going to look for is my x-intercept. So if I look for my x-intercept, I want to look at my x-axis, so I know that I'm going to label this as my x-axis, the one that goes side to side. I want to find when does the line cross this x-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight my x-axis, and I'm going to find where does the line cross that point. So my line that I graphed crosses this x-axis at this point right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my ordered pair out. I'm going to pull what my ordered pair is right here. So when I'm at this point right here where the line crosses the x-axis, I'm at the point 1, 2, 3 for x. So x would be 3, and y here is at 0, which is exactly what I wanted. So I wanted to find out when I crossed my x-axis. So that means that my x-intercept is just 3. My x-intercept, my value for x, when the line crosses the x-axis is 3. So then we can do the same thing for the y-intercept. So I'm going to go to my y-intercept. I want to find out where my line crosses my y-axis. So y'all go ahead and pause the video and try to do that one on your own. Okay, so if we look at the y-axis, I know this is my y-axis here. Y. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. My y-axis is right here, and I'm found, okay, so I crossed the point right there. So my line crosses the y-axis at this point here. The ordered pair for this point is going to be x is equal to 0. I didn't run at all, so I'm at 0. And then my y point is down 1, 2. So y is equal to -2. So that means that my y-intercept, the value of y when the line is crossing the y-axis, is -2. And that's it. So super easy, right? If you're doing it from a graph, it's super easy. You're just seeing where does the line cross those points. Okay, so let's look at from an equation how we can do this. Okay, so if you notice, this graph here is in standard form. We have 5x minus 2y equals 10. So it's in the form of ax plus by equals c. So we're going to take this from standard form, and we're going to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So we're going to go ahead and use the information that we talked about on the last slide. So remember, we said the x-intercept is where the line is going to cross the x. That means that the y is going to equal 0. Well, if y equals 0, then to find this x-intercept, all I have to do is plug in y equals 0 to this equation. So I'm going to write 5 times x minus 2 times 0 equals 10. So if we look here, I just have 5x minus 2 times 0 equals 10. So we're going to have to go to the next video, and we'll finish finding the x and y intercept on there. Let's go ahead and next video.